right, we are now on live. Thanks everybody that's coming in and tuning in with us. Today we're going to chop it up and we're going to see where the STS alumni are now and basically how STS helped them level up in life. I'm super excited to be here and I'm ready to go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and start with introductions. So you're going to give us your name, your college, your company, and your position. Let's go with Justin, Marlena, and then Christian.
Hey, I'm Justin Clark. My hometown, you said name, hometown, right? Memphis, Tennessee. My company is Alsac, full-time. That's my full-time job. I work for Alsac. I'm their digital marketing specialist. And then a serial entrepreneur. Did I leave out something?
Graduate from?
I think I left out something. Oh, and I graduated from the University of Memphis, Fogelman College of Business and Economics.
Oh my God.
It's your turn, Marlene.
Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Anna Love. I'm currently based here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, but I am from Memphis, Tennessee, 38126 South Memphis area. I did graduate from the University of Memphis in the spring of 2016 with a bachelor's degree in management information systems. So like Justin from Fogelman College. In my full-time career, I am a technical project management consultant and Scrum Master. My current client at the moment is with Google. I am an early stage artificial intelligence startup founder specializing in improving the quality of education. So thanks for having me today.
That's great. Hello, everyone. I am Christian Wembley. Raised in Memphis, Tennessee. I was born in Texarkana, Texas, but Memphis is definitely home to me. I graduated from the University of Memphis 2018 from the Fogelman College of Business as well. And currently I work at FedEx and I am a recruiter.
Definitely. Thank you guys for your introductions. I am Taylor Woody. I am the current STS Elite President. Besides that, I am a public relations major at the University of Memphis, and I currently work as a social media community specialist at True Green. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. I think we all kind of answered what we're kind of doing professionally. However, what type of things outside of work are you engaged in?
I guess I'll start. Well, currently I'm in the process. I'm kind of like a struggling entrepreneur at the moment, or a rising entrepreneur, trying to get my brand together. That's pretty much what I'm working on. I have an apparel company called Changing Crowns, in which we chose to speak directly to suicide and depression for youth and millennials. So that's currently what I'm working on, but I'm definitely looking forward to doing a little bit more, I guess, like community work. Since I've been back, I was in California for about 2 years. So that's pretty much all. I kind of just go to work and try to work on my business and try to be productive, and then, just working, honestly.
Yeah, I guess I can take it next. I kind of relate with Christian at that moment too. I've been very involved in the community here. Before stepping down, I was part of the board of directors at the Project Management Institute. Been very active in the organization. I recently stepped down to become the chapter president of the Blacks in Technology Twin Cities, which is an organization that helps increase representation of Black professionals in tech and advancing their careers in that. And I became a volunteer for Women in Artificial Intelligence. Being a part of all these organizations has helped me to grow my brand, my career, which led to amazing job opportunities and exposure. And most importantly, going that entrepreneurship route, being a volunteer in Women in Artificial Intelligence had allowed me to be accepted into an accelerator program where I can launch my first artificial intelligence product this year through the help of mentorship, courses, and all of that. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I think to piggyback off of Christian and Marina, finding, your avenue or lane in entrepreneurship. I've had my own tax and finance small firm for about 5 years now, but I've just decided to jump into a e-commerce strategy similar to what Christian is doing with her t-shirt business, but for pet products, and that's focused or named after my own standard poodle because he has a personality of his own. And even being sponsored by the local Hollywood feeds and them asking him to take pictures. So I was like, well, why not?
Right.
And then real estate. So I just finished my 60-hour course in real estate. Actually, last night I did my final exam, and now I'm up again early this morning. So just finding,
Right.
my avenue when it comes to entrepreneurship and generational wealth, but then also
Mhm.
going to work full time as a digital marketing specialist, and then being socially active in the community, whether it's STS or other Memphis nonprofits, just so that we can rub off on the generation behind us and social justice and just change as a whole for minorities.
Definitely. So it seems like you guys are all doing some very great work, just outside of, I want to say the classroom, but outside of the workplace, you guys have your other businesses that you're trying to build. And I'm pretty sure those keep you very busy. So we're going to shift the conversation a little bit to STS Enterprise. So when you hear STS Enterprise, what comes to mind?
Okay.
Oh,
We can go that one. I really like what you just said beyond the classroom, and that literally what comes to mind is SES is what you do outside the classroom. Even when I was a student at University of Memphis, I've been on this campaign tour telling people that getting a good grades is great, but if you want a job or if you want to establish a foundation for yourself, you have to do more than that. You have to network, you have to get experience, and you have to really go over and beyond to get to what you want. And SES does that. Like it connects you
Mhm.
with professionals, whatever you're trying to do. Like Justin said, knowing what you want, saying what's out there. SES connects you with that resource and that person to really help you accelerate your career.
Agreed. I think when I think of it, the first thing that comes to mind is family. So to piggyback off of what she said, it was an opportunity in a realm or a world that existed outside of the classroom for us to be with other like-minded individuals who want to experience, so that when we graduated, we could have a life after college, or a great life after college, jobs and career opportunities, and just to be in our fields, because we know that from a lot of college students, they end up being in fields that are not relevant to their college experience at all. And sometimes breaking into the corporate world without experience is difficult. We need more than just degrees in the 21st century to to land those jobs. And STS provided those opportunities. One of the first things Jeremy and Alton said to me when I joined was, create the opportunity. So when opportunity came about within the organization, even for Christian and I to join the board of Elite, and she was the president and I served as the marketing chair, there was us creating the opportunity that Jeremy and Alton always recommended us to do, and just throwing ourselves out there for different projects and volunteering to
Mhm.
rise to the occasion to get things done.
yeah, I completely agree with Marlena and Justin as well. For me, it's a few things that pop up. I would definitely say, for me, it was the passion, just to see how passionate just the founders are about the organization, about the work that they want to do for just youth. So that's definitely something that sticks out for me. And just like the level of excellence, I'm always completely blown away with the leaders that serve on the boards or the people that actually bring STS together. And like Justin said, it's like one big family. Like I was supported my whole way through like STS, whether I was doing good or whether I was doing bad, there's always somewhere there supporting. And I would definitely say the resources, like I don't think there was something that college students needed that STS, that was not willing to like provide. I got my first internship with STS coming into college, my mind was not even on internships. I just got involved with this organization that walked up to me, you know, and next thing you know, I'm like serving on executive boards on, you know, organizations. And it was just so insane to me, you know, so, and humility. And that's another thing as well. I didn't see, I knew about leadership, but I didn't get to see humble, you know, leaders. Like I just saw these men and women that were just so humble, you know, so that was exciting for me, you know. I love the organization and I love the leaders. So that's what it is for me.
Definitely. So you all have your different reasons and kind of sort of like what STS was to and what it meant to you. My next question is there anything else that you didn't already share that really made you want to join STS?
Well, oh, sorry. No, you said the question was, were there other things that we saw that made us want to join?
Yes.
I think for me, so I joined through one of my childhood friends, and I got invited to clean up Memphis with him, and I met Jeremy and Alton. And you know, when I got there, I just had never met, to Christian's point, you know, professionals that looked like me, right? But they were humble in hitting sidewalks to clean up the city. And ironically, they had me like talk to like maybe 30 different strangers, telling them about what my career path was or what my, you know, what I wanted to do in life. And I was just like, what am I doing? But I did it, you know, just because they said you should. You know, don't be shy, you know, just tell them, you know. And so we were cleaning up and just walking around, introducing ourselves to random people. But, you know, it felt good because I think, you know, when I joined STS, and for any college student, we walk in and we have the things that we just can't imagine ourselves doing, whether it's public speaking or engagement. And STS really pushes you to break the ice and break those barriers, right? And it helps you to grow professionally and socially. So that way you can use those skills outside of the organization. So I think before I joined STS, I probably wouldn't be able to do this and know that people across wherever on YouTube can see me speaking, right? Like, but after the organization, um, it was like a new level of professional and personal confidence that I gained.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, I would say the same. Like that was just awesome. And as you were like speaking, it just like to something that I didn't mention, like I knew that I always wanted to kind of like speak, and I knew that people had like greatness in them, but I wasn't in like, I was never put in a position where somebody was literally calling me like, yeah, what's up, boss lady? Like, what's going on? Somebody was just like, look, I know that you are great. Like, let's bring it out. Like, I believe in you. And I'm just like, what? Who are these people? Like Justin said, I'm being presented, you know, in front of all of these opportunities. And I never was pushed like that, you know, to where I had to like commit to something, or where somebody was like, yeah, you know, you should take this opportunity. Like, go take the risk. Like, I know you're scared, but you have to basically put yourself in those type of positions, you know, to change. So I completely agree. That's probably what it was for me, having the opportunity to excel in something or to actually be great and have someone actually telling you like, yo, you great. Like, let's do this. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you hit the key word when you said passion, I was very fortunate to be a part of SES in the early days when they founded. The founders and I, we were part of another nonprofit organization before they decided to found SES Enterprise. And just that passion and that wanting to make an impact and do something more, as they say, set the standard, that was really important. And what I like about setting the standard is that the standards start with us. And a lot of us who are graduating from college, we, in my world in tech, we're usually the first Black person who worked in that career field. And so we're setting the standard and the path for other people after us. And I really like that mindset that Jeremy and Alton had, like, let's do something more than the or other organizations that wasn't really providing what STS were providing. So because I already had that relationship, I already had opportunities and I know what the future could be like, it was a no-brainer when he said, hey, Marlena, like we're doing a student chapter. Do you want to be involved? I'm like, yeah, let's take it to the next level. So that's why I decided to join and take it to that next level and really create those opportunities and break barriers for our college students to get the resources and support that our college didn't give them.
Definitely. I think you all kind of hit on some just more things about STS that we're passionate, we're working hard, we're doing the work. And just by seeing people doing the work, it really attracts more people to come in and want to do the work also. So, my next question is if you could do it all over again, how soon would you have joined STS and when did you join in your college career?
Oh, I guess I'll go first for sure. Like I'm all in. Like I'm definitely jumping in as soon as I can. I joined my freshman year, literally. I think we did, it was some like organization fair and Jeremy walked up to me. And I think I would honestly take that same route, but I would definitely just take it more serious and try to just absorb all that I can. But I would definitely jump in as soon as possible. And even if you're not a freshman, you know, freshman, sophomore, junior year, senior year, because STS is definitely going to get you together, you know, so those opportunities can still come regardless. You know, you don't have to be a freshman to get them. So I would definitely jump in as soon as I can, as soon as I could.
Okay, the same for me. I really can't say any earlier. Maybe when they was even thinking of the idea, then I probably should.
Right.
I I would do it all over again just because I know the value of what they're doing, where they're getting at. So the sooner, the better. And Christian made a good point. Being like a freshman, even an incoming freshman, is the best way to get involved and start early.
Yeah, I would agree with both of them. I think I joined my sophomore year, maybe the summer semester of my sophomore year, but I probably would have joined as a freshman if I could do it all over again and just kind of get my hands on everything, volunteer for everything, go to every board meeting, right? Because we always had the SCS elite meetings, but then the
Oh,
board
yeah.
meetings would happen at IP International Paper, and you walk in and there's a room full of professionals, right? And you can have more than one mentor, but you're sitting with lawyers and marketing professionals, nursing professors, you name it, project management professionals. So like there's so many people that can rub off on you when it comes to STS. I just would have soaked up as much as I could have to better prepare for life and just professional and personal development.
So what you're saying is everybody out there that's a freshman, you should go ahead and apply now. Go to the
Every-
website and just
They
go to
really
apply
should.
now.
They
Because
really
the
should.
sooner the better.
Yes.
STS is always going to
You
help,
wasting
but
time.
Yeah.
definitely go ahead and apply now. STSenterprise.org. All right. My next question is it has to do with leadership. So, how did STS develop you as a leader or develop your leadership skills?
Man, I'd probably say having those honest conversations.
Mm-hmm.
It's like pretty much like my mentor. Like I
Yeah.
all my questions and input with him. And just as a leader is you learn through experience by making those mistakes and putting yourself out there to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was able to grow is things, the mistakes I made and just what I learned over time. But having someone who's going to be raw with you, authentic and tell you like it is,
Mm-hmm.
that you can grow, that's how you become a leader. Even when I was slipping up, like Jeremy was like, Marlene, you slipping. Let's get you back up there. So I really appreciated that. And also as a leader, being involved, I think Justin and Christian, they were both a part of the board. Like leadership is experience and you learn when you're
Mm-hmm.
responsible for other people and you're taking control and ownership, that gives you real world leadership and you learn a lot about yourself more than you learn about
Right.
other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, and I would say, being put in those positions and or even German out to asking us to step up to the plate and take on the challenge of being a part of the board, right? Where we're getting given a new set of responsibilities. And so if something goes wrong with the mass meeting, it's on us, it's on the board, right? So, like Marlena said, having those hard conversations, right? Because at this point, we're young adults, like we're not children anymore. And when we sign up for the opportunity, then there's a set of responsibilities and expectations that we're given. And they knew that we could handle them. It was just about delivering, right? Every time, delivering and being present for every meeting and, sharing our experience and our growth with other students so that way they could join the organization because there is a benefit. And so nobody wants to hear when they're not doing so great, right? But like it's needed. And you start to learn those experiences because those are the same conversations that you have as a professional, right? Especially being a fresh graduate. You don't come in being somebody's boss. Normally somebody else is your boss. So those hard conversations prepare you for corporate life or even as an entrepreneur, if you grow your own business, you have to hire somebody to do X, Y, and Z. So it prepares you to have those hard conversations with other people. But then when you learn from the mistakes and then you excel in them, it feels great. And when you learn that early to correct your mistakes, then it perfects your craft, your passion for a corporate experience, and then you grow faster than people who didn't have the opportunity that you had would grow, right? Because I can say I think for the most part, all three of us have made momentum quite swiftly. So, it's just a proof that our experience with STS has paid off, and we excelled in those roles, and it helps with these, I guess, our current positions or life in general.
Second on that one, like
Yeah. Likewise, I agree with the both of you as well. And it's funny because y'all both talked about the one-on-ones. Like my first full-time position out of college, I was working in customer service at like ADP, and I was in payroll. And one of the questions for the interview was, how do you deal with one-on-one situations where your boss has to give you, consistent feedback and basically tell you what you're doing wrong and tell you how to improve? And I was just like, good, because all 4 years I had these conversations with Jeremy and Alex, and and even the mentors they provided. So that I was like, I got this in the bag. And then it was talking just about how it kind of falls back on you because you are the leaders of the organization, but how it ties into leadership. I just learned how to like manage stress as well. I think as I think about some of the careers that I've had, they've been in customer service, so it's like constant stress, and you get tired of talking to people all day. So that is something that I learned. And then I remember with STS at the time that I was a part of, and one of the core values was like transparency. And now that I'm like building a brand to speak to youth and millennials and to inform them about certain things, it's just that keyword sticks out to me. And I'm just like, man, I know I got to be transparent. I got to tell my story. And that's not something that I like to do. I'm a closed book. You ain't too much you're going to get from me. But it's like that stuck out. I remember, they were 100. Jeremy was like, keep it real. Like he told us before this meeting, So I keep that, on the forefront of my mind. I'm like, man, I got to share my truth. This ain't what I want to do, but I have to, to be able to relate to people. So I think that, and just really having the skills, like I wouldn't have had the opportunity to be a leader if it wasn't for STS, or even be in the position of a leader to do the work, good or bad. Like I went into, my full-time corporate career, whatever it may be, being able to have those opportunities. So it was great.
Definitely. I think that it's important that we highlight that STS is going to throw you in some situations that you have never, ever been in before, never thought you would be in before. This is a good example of something I never thought I would be even doing, hosting these types of talks. But I think that it really just promotes the growth and to take you to the next level and get you ready for that next level opportunity.
Yeah, and sidebar as well. Sorry to cut you off, but you're doing an amazing job. So like you're like awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
You are.
All right. So my next question is for somebody that not everybody feels like they need STS. So all the things we're talking about, some people don't feel like they need STS to help them do those things, or if they need those skills. What would you say to the student that doesn't feel like they can benefit from STS?
Put it one more time.
What would you say to the student that feels like they can't benefit from STS?
Okay, I say this, that to everyone. I like maybe you can, or maybe you can. It really depends on what are you trying to accomplish, knowing what you want and what you're trying to achieve. Because STS is like a vehicle, right? It's something you can leverage to better yourself and to better other people around that. The more you're in tune with who you are, what do you want to accomplish, that's when you can get the most out of STS, to help you. If you come in there wholehearted, if you come into the organization wholeheartedly, I just want to volunteer and just get an internship, that it's not going to work for you. If you come with a mindset that STS is a really great organization and it can help me to get to where I am, then STS will be all hands on deck to get you to where you be. So you really have to be objective and know what you want, and then to be able to relay that to STS to really help you get there, because STS is literally a tool, a resource, a support system that's going to get you.
Mhm.
Agreed. And I would say, outside of it being something that you can professionally benefit from, it's like a second family. So if you come into it, like Marlena said, with just the objective of getting a mentor and an internship, there's still room for you to miss out on opportunity. But if you walk into it with, open arms, open heart, and just embracing the family dynamic that Jeremy, Alton, and the rest of the organization provides, then you build a connection, and then everything becomes organic, right? And even if you are a college student who already has access to mentors and internship, let's just say if you're already doing something better than most of the other college students, well, you can walk into the organization and still network. It's a realm of networking. Outside of the college students, there's a world of professionals that exist that support STS. And so why wouldn't you walk into the experience or the opportunity to still network, and you could share your experience with other college students. We may learn about different programs on campus that we didn't know existed, that may be new, that we can share with other students, or even the opportunity to join the board. Because Christian and I, we walked in it, embraced the experience, made it to the board, was able to rub off on other students, and it's paid off for us. But that doesn't mean because you already have a mentor in an internship that you can't walk into a realm or an organization that's created for minorities, where on campus, especially from the schools that we went to, right? They're not HBCUs, they're PWIs. But we are an organization that is focused on supporting and preparing minority students for life after college. We don't turn away students, but the heart and the I guess the original goal for the organization was to support minority students, and SCS does exactly that.
Yeah, I agree again with the both of you. It's definitely that family setting, because even in like when you're in college, it's a home away from home. I got both professional support and also, personal support from the organization. And I think STS serves as something that will elevate, your career, but it also just helps you on like such a big like personal note. Like it's just insane. I think the what I've received from the organization. And I think like the level of opportunities that are going to be open from you, like as I was like driving, home to hop online, I was just like, I don't even think people like they meet me second, but like my resume reflects it all. Like I had the opportunity to do multiple internships through like the organization. Like before I even get there, they see STS, on my resume. So I think that you should definitely take that opportunity to be a part of, just an amazing organization with such like authentic just leadership. Um, and I think once you join, you'll be able to see it from the individuals that come to speak, the resources that are there for you. It's not an opportunity that I would pass up. So you get it all with STS for sure.
It definitely opening doors.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely opening doors.
That's a good point you mentioned. Like when we talk about family, it's also relationships. You won't realize it until after you graduate from college how important that relationship is.
Yeah.
Like even 5 years now out of college, I still have those relationships. Like I'm very close. One is actually a business partner of mine now, and I still call on Jeremy when I need him. But having those relationships are very important to have a conversation, open up doors to research and just to say, hey, I'm going through something in my career or I'm looking to do this. Like, what are your thoughts on
Yeah.
it? Having that connection, that family, like someone you can call on is very important.
Mhm.
If you're like me, all the way up north, where it's like 1% Black people, you're gonna need to more Black people from Memphis who gets it.
And also to Justin's point, I know he mentioned, he was like, even if you already have like, you know, internships and mentorships, I just think the route that STS is taking right now, this is definitely like one of those organizations that you want to say that you're a part of. And then just thinking about like the network as a whole, like everybody literally loved Jeremy and Alex, and like they gonna speak to everybody so they know everybody, even their whole team, because I know there are a lot of great professionals that work with them, but it's like being able to get tied to that network, you know, and to meet, you know, people that you don't know. And Memphis is small and they know people, you know, in Memphis and also outside of it. But, you know, you definitely want to get in and join that network. And then another thing is like the excellence that you just really get to see. Like Justin spoke earlier, and he was like he would have went to a lot of the board meetings. Like I went to a lot of those board meetings, board of directors meetings, and it was insane to see like all of these professionals and the level of excellence that when they speak and when they do the work, like not everybody gets to see that, you know. And through this organization you can most definitely be exposed to that and have it kind of, you know, trailblaze like your leadership and, you know, have a vision of what you can be. So that's what it is for me.
And I think, a greater point would be, as a whole, when you think about it, the board of directors are people who have been in their professional careers or businesses for years, right? And so they are coming into the organization, volunteering and giving their time, their energy, and their education to create the curriculum for elite. So the curriculum is created by all these professionals. Why not walk into the opportunity and take advantage of it? They're giving you, quote unquote, the key or the shortcut. You just have to receive it, take advantage of it, and utilize it to the best of your ability. That's that's how I think about the organization.
Yeah, and that just made me think. I'm just last thing and I'm done. But you basically said it as well. It just you have the opportunity to learn from people that already, you know, that have done it. So you're basically like you said, you getting the blueprint, you getting the game, like you getting ready to learn from their mistakes, you know, from what they found to be successful. Like you probably shouldn't say this in an interview, or you know, when I was your age, I didn't take that opportunity. You know, they like straight up like just giving you game, and it's just like take it basically, you know, it's right there for you. So yeah.
So what I'm hearing is basically there's something in STS for everybody. Whether if you already have maybe the internship, maybe you can touch on the networking, or maybe you can find your next business partner, or maybe you just really get a positive environment and people to push you in just meeting different people. I think it's important to highlight that basically in STS there's something for everybody because different people come for different reasons, and I think that STS offers a well-rounded environment for people to grow and for people to learn. Definitely. So my next question would be, why do you still support and show love to STS after you've graduated?
Yes, I'll go. It's pretty simple for me. I just know what was poured into me, you know, throughout my 4 years that I was in college, you know, even after, you know, the just energy, you know, somebody telling you like, yo, I see that you're great, or, you know, just late night meetings, and people trying to get you or, you know, internships and, hey, you think you need a mentor, you need somebody to talk to this about, and they just throwing at you like just opportunities to just help you, not even just about you having money, but like, let me make sure that you are the best that you can be, you know, as family, as, you know, a friend or a mentee. So I think STS just gave me so much that it's only right that I give it back to them, you know, when I need to be hopping on the live or, you know, what I need. I've been back, but I haven't been as involved, but even just doing this is just like, I have to give back what was given to me. So yeah.
Same. I would agree with Christian, and I've been here, but haven't been as involved. And sometimes life gets busy, trying to hustle, trying to use what you've learned. But I think it's important to give back. So even for me, when Jeremy texted me, I was like, well, I'm down. I clear my schedule. I'm open to it. Let's do it. And I think it's important to give back to the communities that continue to pour into you. And as millennials, we redefine what a career looks like. Christian and I are both college graduates in Marlena, but we also all have talked about our entrepreneur lives and the business structures and business strategies that we're using outside of being full-time professionals. So we're juggling 2 and 3 careers technically. So maybe the organization could benefit from us by having students who want to become serial entrepreneurs and still have a professional life. Well, they have access to young people, freshly graduated, maybe less than 10 years ago, students from the organization who can share advice about the balance and the struggle and the strategy, and the focus. And I think that's important. But the biggest thing is just to continue to pour back into the communities that pour into us, for us to get to where we are now.
Yeah, I see no lie. Yeah, like both of them. My whole motto and my core value today is work. And that's something that even when I was the vice president of STS, we always said pay it forward, pay it forward. Like it took a community to raise me when I was a teen.
Mm-hmm.
But STS colleges, mentors, sponsorship, whatever it took for people who saw potential in me, who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself to get me to where I'm at. And my career was started because of someone said, like, I know you can do it. And so why not pay that forward to the next Marlena, the next Christian, the next
Mm-hmm.
Taylor, so that they can have the same opportunity. And working as a professional now, that's typically the mindset that we have is that I'm in this position so that I can have the next person after me to get into my foot too. And we're setting those trends, those trails for them.
Yeah, and I agree. And it's like you were speaking, Marlena, I was thinking about just like STS and how like it's kind of like a nonstop thing. Like I got back to Memphis and I had just had a conversation with Jeremy a few weeks ago. And he was like, okay, I know you're back. How can we help you? Like what is it? What skill do you want to learn? How can we basically take you, to the next level, now that you're back, or what resources do you need? And I think that's one of the things like with STS, and hopefully I think the direction that it's going is kind of like a nonstop thing. Like I had the mentors that I looked up to. Now essentially all 4 of us and all of you who are watching, are becoming, those, leaders. So that, as Marlena said, that we can continue to do the same thing, that the organization does.
I think what Marlena said was really important about paying it forward. I think that ultimately that's the culture that we create in STS, is that STS pours into us and we want to continue to pour into the next generation and the next generation and really create break those generational curses and make it where every generation is a generation better. Because if you give me what you know, and then I can pass it on to the next person and so on down the line, we can continuously get better and better.
Right.
Marlena, I know you have a kind of special situation with paying it forward with STS with the scholarship. Would you want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually saw that you guys did your recipient yesterday, so congratulations to them.
Oh, congrats.
So that was when I created scholarship, that was just my need to like, I have to pay it for it. Like at that point, I really felt like I really do owe my success to STS. Like my internship was literally a phone call. To give you guys context, like I think it was year 2013 is when I lost my grandmother, who was my big motivation behind everything I do. And I was like, really didn't know what to do at the point. And that's when like Jeremy, he called me like, yo, like there's this internship. They're looking for Black people. She got graduated from university. I think you should hop on it. And then I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. And not to mention I had below a 3.0 GPA, but I quickly got it up by retaking some classes. And they gave me an internship, and they said, "Well, we're going to take you to Minnesota." And I was like, "What the heck is that?" Up to Minnesota, but that Minnesota one internship, even though I kept getting denied with other companies, that one internship really set the pace of my career where I'm at now. It brought me to Minnesota. It brought me to working in a career that I studied for. I was very fortunate to graduate and work in my career job that I paid loans for, and the sky been the limit from there. And so all these things that Jeremy, STS, the community, these mentors they did for me, I can't just go and live my life without giving back. So I had that urge to give back. And when I had my first lovely check, which looked very nice, delicious, I just said, let me create a scholarship, like let me do something for them. And that was something I did with German. Like, here's an idea, I've been wanting to do it, and they've been working with me for that. And most scholarships, my vision for a scholarship is I didn't want a scholarship like they give you money and sponsorship just to go on. Like I wanted the recipients who got the scholarship, they had the mentor, they had the success, the resources, everything they needed to set them up for success and to keep on that transition to know they get the most of it. Because with me, I lost all my scholarships in sophomore year, but I got some of them back. And being that mentor who like guide you through your experience, and who help you to keep that scholarship, let you know this is what STS has. That's what they have, and hopefully, as now I'm growing my career, we can do more of that, give more access, give more monetary donations to deserving students.
That's awesome.
That's great. We just awarded the scholarship for this year yesterday. So congratulations once again to Destiny Bryan, and thank you, Marlena, for just investing in the PIMS and all of us. All right, so we're gonna switch lanes just a little bit. So what is one lesson or one thing that you would tell a college student besides join STS Elite?
What's one thing them about STS?
Besides joining STS. So anything about college or their experience or their journey.
I'll say stay hungry for it. Like
Mhm.
in college, especially 2020, where it's happened, like more than anything, follow what you love and your passion.
Yeah.
That's something I kind of regret after I graduated, that I went with the flow, not let these companies dictate where I do with my life. At this point, with everything that's happening, figure out like what your true passion is. What do you like? What do you want to do? And just see where life takes you. Keep that open mind for you. And that's literally what happened to me this year. I kept an open mind and I figured out what life take me. And it getting my first startup program, it took me to a job that I was thinking I wasn't going to have until a few years from now, only because I had an open mind and I looked at what connections and networks I
Mhm.
made from 2 years ago that got me to this point. So just do your research, figure out what opportunities out there, who can get you there, build your relationships, know what you want, high level, don't have to be detailed, and just see where life takes you and enjoy that journey. Like you want to get to
Yeah,
be
for sure.
enjoy the journey and the highs, the low, and don't be like a 27-year-old like me, wishing like, dang, I missed that good time.
Agreed.
uh
Yeah, I would say, be very studious, study, read, go to class. But when it's time to have fun, have a blast, because
Mhm.
when you're not, you miss the time of not taking a break. So when spring break comes, Christmas break, take a vacation, go somewhere, jump in the Jeep and go down the highway, do something
Mhm.
to unwind. Because, I think a lot of times some students, especially as freshmen, we end up having to find our balance. And sometimes we end up being the examples, right? And we cut loose or have fun at the wrong times when we shouldn't be. So go to class, don't skip, take notes, do all of the good stuff, pass, good grades, keep your scholarships, but then have fun when it's time to have fun. Because like Marlena said, you're gonna miss it when you can't. And to piggyback off what she said, stay true to who you are, chase your passion. And I would say because we are millennials, and it's not everything is not about money, but it's a part of life. We have to be realistic. We're not from a generation anymore where we will have pensions. We have 401ks. So consider hobbies that generate income. A second source of income, because that's important. Stability, financial stability for sure. Sometimes we won't get those opportunities right after college is going to pay us 50, 60, 70,000 a year. Some of them you're going to be paid a little of or nothing for the experience. But if you have a second source of income or a side hobby or a side business, you can afford to take the opportunity that's going to pave the way for better opportunities and better pay. You just have to start somewhere. So yeah, do something,
Yeah.
find a hobby that makes money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree, especially with that last point, finding that hobby that's gonna, bring in some income. But I definitely agree with the both of you. I think one thing that I would tell a college student is to definitely find like a good tribe, somebody that keeps you committed, to actually being in college and kind of keeps you aligned and focused on your goals in the midst of you like having fun. And I think both of you really highlighted, the journey, like literally enjoy your journey. College is one of the most amazing experiences that you will ever have for sure. And then one last thing that I was going to say, Marlena spoke on this as well. And it's really like doing what you love to do. I think college is like those 4 years or 5 years, however long you stay in there, is like the perfect time to kind of just like see what's for you. I'm not saying like change up your major every, semester, but literally like Justin said, like go, pursue, some hobbies that bring you income, or you want to start this type of business, like start it now. And, if it fails, it fails, you learn from it. So I think it's definitely the greatest time to like experience and do like adventurous things. So I would say those things, find your tribe, do what you love and enjoy your journey for sure.
I gotta hop up on
And it's the
that.
best time. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, and it's the best time to make those mistakes as young adults, right? The responsibilities there are way less for people like our mentors, right? Because they're married now, they're having children. You don't really have the room to make big mistakes that cost you, an arm and a leg, right? Like, because
Right.
you need stability. Your children need stability. But as a young adult and a college student, that's when that's the time where you make the mistakes. Those are the times where you change your major, where you fail a class, where you drop your GPA,
Mm-hmm.
because you have time to make it up. Not encouraging any of you to do that, but if it
Right.
happens, it happens. It's life. But you have the opportunity to correct it, do better, and learn from the mistake.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like I just have to help it calm down too. Make those mistakes because, like I said, my GPA went a few times, but I bounced back quickly. Because when you do that in life, that costs you a job or a salary. Okay, at ground zero.
Yeah.
But gosh, I really have to hop back on that one. One of the regrets I do wish that I could have done is studying abroad. I really wish I could have studied abroad. That's one thing I really wish I would early on in my collegiate career. But it's so important. Like I really beg you guys, like really pursue your passion. And right now, as millennials, we're stuck between a full-time career and trying to do break generational curses. Like we're
Right.
working because we need the money to pay the bills, but we're trying to build our own life and work for ourselves, and it's hard. Right now, as a college student, your generation, you can literally pay off your student loans by the time you graduate with how much resources and opportunities you have through social media.
Right.
A Indian child who's not even teen and he's a multi-millionaire for YouTube. And there's so many opportunities to work for yourself. And I just say it's so important that now more than ever, while you're getting your education, while you're pursuing the traditional route, is to really pursue what you want because the moment you graduate and you work a full-time job, when you enter that rat race, cycle, it's going to be a little bit harder, but it's not impossible to really get to the dream life that you want. So set yourself up for success early. Try everything. I graduated with five,
Mhm.
two or three of those were IT. Everything else was like marketing, design, whatever, things that had nothing to do with my major, but all those were key skills that allowed me to just really be a jack of all trades and a master of some, not none, and things like that. But it's possible that you can graduate, that you don't have to be in a financial debt like I was, still paying
Mhm.
bills and really doing something that makes me happy and paying for the things I like. Like you can set your life up for that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what I'm basically hearing is really just take time to figure out what you want to do outside of the classroom. Whether it's hanging out with your friends or even if you get into some trouble, make sure you just really bounce back. I think that it's really important that we highlight those things and those times when you need to bounce back because that's real. Like real life happens. I heard Merlana, you said that you had a family member pass away, grades happen, but you just have to bounce back and keep it pushing and find your tribe and have good people around you in order to continue to push forward. So I hear a lot about working. So I want to ask you guys personally, how do you self-care?
Um, for for me personally, I'm like a big self healer. I try to journal when I can or when I take the time to, but honestly, like those affirmations and like speaking life into myself is what like gets me. And as I'm thinking, like even like motivational videos and like sermons are like my self care. Like I haven't gotten super big on like get my nails done and spa days, but like those, motivational videos, things like that that actually like give me life, when I get down, that's like my self-care for me for sure. And also, I would say
Um,
just being patient with myself as well, so yeah.
yeah, I would say patience is definitely key. And I would say for me, sometimes watching vloggers on YouTube. So hey, if any of the students, ladies, if you're into hair, makeup, and all that other stuff, get on YouTube. Guys, if you're into car stuff,
Mhm.
gaming, streaming, get on YouTube. There's ways to monetize all kinds of things because people will watch it. Even mukbang videos. I mean, who would have thought that people get rich off of watching somebody eat? But it's a thing.
Literally.
So I would say YouTube. I go to YouTube. I just watch stuff. Even tech videos. I just watch them. I'll also say hanging out on the weekends with my friends, like
Mhm.
putting my text clients and closing my work computer, closing everything, right, and not doing any work. Sometimes I have a bad habit of trying to work and communicate with a client when I'm out, but just unwind and travel. I would say travel as much as you can. My passport has plenty of stamps. Who would have thought at this age I would just be able to do that, right? But you work hard, you play harder. So you just enjoy life when you can. Because you should have a work-life balance. It shouldn't be all work 24/7. That's not what life is
For
about.
sure.
So
Oh my preach. I'm learning that now. 'Cause the past 5 years, I've pretty much had no social life. Like I really felt awkward in these whole dating rounds or friendship rounds where they say, "What do you do for fun?" I'm like, network. I wasn't working 9 to 5. I was working on a weekend, networking, doing business. Like it was always that. And I literally say, like, this literally just happened this year. Is when I realized that all my friends who I went to college with, they were achieving their goals, their dreams. And I was still saying, like, I always say, like, yeah, I'm gonna be a businesswoman, I'm gonna do this for me. Like, yeah, it's all talk, but nothing was moving because I was too busy working for other people, making their dreams come alive and supporting organizations that I wouldn't do anything for myself. And I was doing side jobs and stuff like that. And it was at the point I was like, no, I can't do that again this year. I had to give back my time and I had to say no. The power of no is powerful. Okay. Like pushing back on things. Like I had to make a goal and objectives and be intentional about that. Like, this is what I want to accomplish. It came to the point that my time was so important to me, and I'm so protective of it. If it wasn't part of my core values, if it wasn't going to help me accelerate my goals or get to my goals, it doesn't get booked on my calendar. And I made sure I put time out for myself so that I was happy on all levels and things like that. And the moment I did that, I made those tough decisions. I stepped down. Life started happening. Like everything that I wanted came quick in less than 2 months. And I was able to grow faster than I was in the last 2 years. And so when we talk about social relationships are important. I realize my friendships are important, like protecting those, like they were real relationships and making sure they're happy, that I'm happy. Going traveling pre-COVID before that hit, traveling, like trying new things, like riding a horse. I might fall off of it, but it's something new. Like doing virtual reality. Like I say that while you're young, while you're not married or in a committed relationship, this is the time to see what life has out there and explore and see what you like and don't like. And like I said, I'm 27 and I'm learning that now, like just trying different things out to see what do I like, what I don't like, and what life has to offer, because that is important for you and your growth.
100%. Like I agree. Like this is so awesome. It's turning into like a TED talk. I love it. But as Marlena was speaking, it just made me think about like setting like boundaries and standards is also, a form of self-care, and just truly trying to protect like that young woman or young man that you're trying to become, regardless of what you have to say to people, how you have to distance yourself, what you have to, draw the line on or disconnect from, is also a form of self-care as well. So don't let people make you feel bad about that. Doing what's best for you is self-care. So
That's one thing I didn't like about college is when I wish I was listening to a Gary Vee at that time. Because when I was given a different perspective or life would take me another way, a lot of people like that's not for you or you
mm,
can't do this or that. They didn't understand your vision, your goals. So and when you have a different mindset, you
mhm.
things, that's going to tell a lot about your surroundings and environments. And don't be afraid to switch up your environments. Like I literally went from having a lot of friends to no friends. And now I'm at a life where I have some really good friends and support system that's like, that sounds interesting. I don't know about it, but you go, girl. I support you and things like that. Those things matter as you get up to age.
Right.
I realize I ain't got the time for a negative energy and things like that, which actually is a good point. Protect your energy, know the energy, and manifest the things that you want. And when you manifest that and plan for it, like you'll be amazed at what life brings you.
Mhm. I'm taking notes over here.
No, right. I don't even know how to summarize what you guys said because y'all all said so many different
Some
good
mental
things
notes.
between Marlena and just figuring out your tribe and protecting your energy. And then you got Christian said you need to set boundaries. And then you got Justin said you just need to get on YouTube and just watch it. Just watch it and figure it out.
And travel.
And
Travel.
travel. And don't forget travel.
Travel is it, like that. And also try virtual reality. Like we can't travel right now. So that's been like my escape
I'll
area.
have to listen to that.
Virtual reality, I bought it this week. Like, of course, I do workout videos, but like traveling the universe, going to like Bali, Indonesia, like just being out somewhere, like that's my travel at the moment. But traveling, it you get a fresh perspective. Like your mind open up to a whole new world, and you're like, wow, this is out there.
Yeah, I think for me, I never thought that outside of wanting to go to places, I never thought that um being like front and center to embrace different cultures and different people, different cuisines, a different way of life. Like it's crazy that different cultures and worlds exist, but you don't see it until you hop on a plane and go somewhere else. I've been to Paris, London, Barcelona, Mykonos Island, all types of beautiful places, beautiful people, just to experience the different cultures. And I still don't understand how some of them drive on different side of the roads. I don't think if I lived there, I could figure that out. But it's amazing to see front and center. But until you can, then yeah, virtual reality, or just travel within the states first. You know, go down the highway to Atlanta, or go to a water park or something. Do what you can while you can, and then when everything gets open back up, then you can worry about putting stamps in your passport.
So I'm trying to go with Justin, first of all.
Exactly, me too.
But I like what you guys said, because I have traveled a lot just in the States with my family and things. And it really just opens your mind up to know that there's a world outside of what you feel like is going on in your little bubble that you have that you call your life. There's a big world out there, and there's plenty of opportunities, and don't be afraid to travel somewhere or either go move somewhere, because you never know who you might meet or what you might be doing, and just keeping an open mind as you go through life. So I have one final statement for you guys to finish, and this is our last. It's not a question, it's a statement, so you're going to finish it. So it's I am STS because.
Oh, I guess I'll go. I would say I am STS because I know that I have greatness on the inside of me, like all of you have it, like everybody that is watching. And so from this day forward, I'm gonna make a commitment to myself to really just try to make excellence the norm, like every day. And it's so insane because I was a part of the organization for so long. And as I like think about my everyday life, it's like, do you literally try to make excellence the norm? Like how many excuses did you give yourself last week? So I think to alleviate those excuses and to like really just my whole season right now is really to tap into like my best self. So I think in order to do that, it's just like literally waking up and being like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to be excellent today. So I'm gonna keep that on the forefront of my mind as I continue to maneuver throughout my 2021 in my life. So that's what it is for me.
Oh no, we just looking at each other like, who's going first?
Yeah, like, are you gonna go? Am I gonna go? I'll go. I'll say to everything Christian said, the amazing, right? And I would say just being something other than a status quo, thinking outside of the box. I'm saying true to who I am, and beating the odds and not being another black or minority statistic, right? But because I live every day with being excellent as my norm is what makes me STS. And I would say just moving every day and my goal is also always to be a great human being, even if I've been, in an unfortunate situation or been in a malicious situation with another person, or even weird work experiences. I've been in prejudice or racist experience. I still move with the core values that I've been taught, my morals and my values, and I walk away with a smile because, like, at the end of the day, it's your life, your joy, your happiness. If you let them steal it, then they've met their objective, and then you failed. So just move in light, love, happiness, and sometimes some doors closes, but it'll open better doors. As long as you stay true to who you are. That's what makes me STS.
Like snapping fingers over here. For me, I am SES because I set the standard, and I think that's true. My 5 years of learning, is that I I set the standard. I control my narrative. I create those opportunities. I feel like I'm doing affirmations right now, but
Yeah, I guess.
standard, and you create your story and you own that. And I feel like the past few years, that. And as Black people, we deal a lot with imposter syndrome, with people saying you're not good enough or you're not ready yet. And literally, my first job told me that I wasn't ready. Or maybe IT wasn't for me. And I showed her twice, like I am, and I'm a leader, and I'm making changes and waves in IT. So you are, give me 1 second, my lunch just came in. Just open the door for them. It's open. So I set the standard because I am in charge of my life and I create the life that I want. And everything that's happening that I manifested said that I wanted to be a businesswoman and this is so true. Like when I was a freshman, I remember in my fraternity, I said that I wanted to own my business. And I said business. And they're like, what business you gonna own? And you can't even say business, you know? Because how people didn't take me serious. They are now because I worked at it and I put effort in it. And now, what, 5, 6 years later, it's becoming a reality. And that's the story that I own and the narrative that I own. So just know that whatever path that you're on, you set that path.
Agreed. To piggyback off of Marlena, I would have never thought at 24 I would have, my career in my field and then three other business strategies. I started my first business before I graduated as a tax finance professional, and now I have clients all over the United States. And I even teach to. I've had other accountants and local bookkeepers take the class in the program that's designed by me and my mentor. And I'm 24 teaching them. And it's just like, wow, this is mind blowing. But 4 years ago, before I graduated, I would have never seen myself teaching people twice my age how to be, great in the tax or finance industry. And now I'm trying to think of e-commerce stuff like Christian, she's like boss lady, then like online business all at the same time, shipping out orders, manifesting stuff on the internet, so it's amazing. You just have to manifest and not allow people to tell you what you can and can't do. Because if you want to do it, you're going to do it. Nothing's going to stop you if it's really in you.
Absolutely. And you said it earlier too, Justin. You create your own opportunities. Every single job that I've had, opportunities I've had, is because I positioned myself for that. And I put myself first and I made sure I knew exactly what resources, people, and organizations were going to get me there and get me there faster. So you create those opportunities. It's not going to wait for you. That job is not going to wait for you. You got to put in the work. And that's what STS teaches college students. Like you got to put in that work. We can help you and guide you, but it's on you at the end of the day.
Mhm.
I think that
Amen.
everything you guys said. Justin, you have one more thing?
No, I just said amen. I'm sorry.
I felt that. I felt that. Amen. I just want to say that after you guys' answers, you guys really demonstrate what STS is. It really just means that you're going out there and grinding and doing what you want to do and what you're passionate about and crushing it at that, not just doing it, but going out there and making excellence the norm and really just crushing your goals, whatever your path may be or wherever it is. My final thing is I just want to thank you guys for coming to chop it up with us. I'm pretty sure that you have dropped so many things, so many notes, so many things. It even seems like we've even kind of intertwined with each other and learned some different things that we can all be doing. I think that's really important also that we learn from each other. And once again, thank you guys for coming. I do want to give you guys an opportunity. So if you could tell the students how to connect with you, whether that's an Instagram or LinkedIn or I wouldn't say a phone number, but I guess an Instagram or LinkedIn or some type of social media handles of your business or something to connect with you.
Yeah, for sure. On LinkedIn, I'm Christian Wembley. Social media is I am Queen Chrissy, and my business page is Changing Crowns.
For me, for me, it's very simple. All of my social media is my last name, first name, Love Marlena. Let me spell it out. Marlaina. Love Marlena. That's on LinkedIn, Instagram, my own personal website that's still being built. Twitter, Love Marlena. That's where you can find me.
For me, on LinkedIn, you can find me at Justin B. Clark. Um, Instagram __ J Bradford __. My business page is Correct Choice Tax Solutions. And if there's any other marketing students watching this, feel free to connect with me, send me a message. We can have a conversation about creating a digital portfolio because I have a website for my marketing experience as well. And you can see that on my LinkedIn. You can see some of my work. So feel free to click some links, read my resume, take some tips from us from our LinkedIn pages, things that helped us. So yeah.
You know what? Remind me too. That's a good one. Also, for like those who's in tech, I also want to encourage you. I think we have a Memphis chapter called Blacks in Technology. They are the truth, especially if you're in college. You have some of the biggest tech firms like Google, Facebook, I better say Marketplace, Microsoft, that are offering apprenticeship programs, internships. They're offering mentor programs. And on top of that, you're getting free to heavily discounted certifications, like for cybersecurity, project management, all of that. Like there's so much money on the table, so much resources, so much certifications on the table for you to jumpstart your career right now for the summer. So take a look into it. Blacks in Tech is free to join. Let's get your career, get started in technology. And like we've been saying, networking, mentorship, that's the way to go.
Once again, I'd like to thank you guys so much for coming and chopping it up with us. Congratulations on everything you accomplished so far. And I just want to give you all well wishes on all your future endeavors, all the businesses, the working, the grinding it out, working on the self-care, all of that. And just thank you again for coming. I want to say thank you, Jeremy, for giving me the opportunity to host this final Courageous Conversations. And I've enjoyed the series, and we've really just helped so many students throughout this program. I just want to say thank you again to everybody. Thank you to everybody that's joining in there. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and get involved in STS. If you're a student, make sure you reach out and you apply to be an STS Elite. If you are a professional, go ahead and get involved and become a coach, because we need you. PIMS, we need you. And coaches, we need you too. So thanks, everybody. Let's close it out. All right. Bye.